The following is brought to you by the Starfleet Podcast Network, SPN, The Spin. BigJ's Beef! We're recording, so anything you say can will be used for the record.
No, it cannot.
Yes, I got a problem with you.
No.
My beef is with you, is with Nico. This was a long time coming. So, okay, guys, the reason that we have not had any of these recordings in a while is because of this one right here. Because I wanted to do this with Nico, and every week it's the same thing. It's some excuse. Usually I just kind of tune it out.
Let's just play rock, paper, scissors.
Okay? Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
Rock, paper,
But then
scissors.
we have to add Lizard and Spock.
Where did you get that shirt?
I'm not giving away my trade secrets.
It's a shirt.
I don't care.
What kind of secret is that? Just where did you get it?
I got it used.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. Don't worry about it.
I'm not telling you because then you'll
talk into the mic, please. No. First, you look at me when you're talking and we can't hardly hear you. Now you look straight ahead when you didn't used to. There you go. Put it right there.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see anything.
You don't have to see anything. I'm right here. Why won't you sit like in front of me so that we can look at each other when we're talking instead of...
That would be weird.
It would not be weird.
It would be weird.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I'm sure everyone loves hearing us bitching, complaining about random stuff.
I don't know.
What's so funny?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to say our views were higher when I'm on than when you're alone. So maybe that data there suggests that right away.
Excuse me?
As a truthful record of, they like me.
Okay, is that true? So for anyone that is listening, watching, leave me a comment, send an email, something. Are you more inclined to watch BigJ's Beef when Nico is on here?
Yeah, because I give you shit constantly. They like that. Because
she's convinced somehow that that's the case, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I mean, maybe.
I think
maybe
so.
It's true.
I think we've seen the trend for a while now.
All right, so here's what I want to. I was going to use the word complain, but not complain. And sometimes we don't even have to talk about Star Trek, right? Because I complain a lot, don't I? Careful with the answer to that one.
I might have to plead the fifth for that.
Okay. All right. You can do that.
My list might be a little long.
Yeah. Show them your shirt. Let me see that again.
So, okay. Well, first you have rock, paper, scissors, right?
Yeah.
But we have, hold on. We've got Lizard and Spock.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, now you have the rules. So are you ready for this?
Yeah. Let's see the rules.
So hold on a second.
You might not be able to turn around in that
I can't turn around. Okay. Well, hold on a second.
Your hair's too long. We can't see.
Okay. So
all right,
now we've got the rules.
Turn the other way a little bit.
Yeah, but you're going to have to like...
Scissors cuts paper. Paper covers rock. Rock crushes lizard. Lizard poisons Spock. Spock smashes scissors. Scissors decapitates lizard. Lizard eats paper. Paper disproves Spock. Spock vaporizes rock. And as it always has, rock crushes scissors. Okay?
So I don't know. This is awfully complicated for me. I'm not sure that I could get all that down in a... I don't know. We might have to play that for a while. And I
kind of forgot the rules already.
I know. I'm thinking I need like a snapshot to post so that I can like read through and see which one okay, wait, I win because I got this one over that one. So yeah. But yeah, I loved it. I was searching for something new. So this was what I found and I was super excited. So
do you remember the Star Trek related topic that I told you we were going to talk about that we hadn't got to yet, that I had a beef with?
No.
You.
Besides me.
Besides you, it's always you.
Oh, it's always me. It's always me. It's me in everyday life. So why would I expect something different?
You told me that you didn't watch Strange New Worlds season 2 because you didn't like it.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't owe me.
Well,
you remember.
It's not that I didn't like it, but it was the nostalgia factor. So because I'm so much like I grew up with Captain James T. Kirk on TV, like starting when I was 4 years old, then it just like, and then when it hit with like the Next Generation, I would have been I don't know. How old were you?
I was 10 when it aired in 87.
Okay, so I would have been like 12. So for me,
what year were you born?
In 75.
Okay, so you don't know.
No, we're not doing math. This isn't math class right now.
It's not math. That's right.
I'm tired. That's why. Like, I already had a little nap. It did not go over so well. I'm not at my best right now. Like,
that much is certain.
And my short-term memory, you know, like that's a lot of like counting and figuring out things that I just at the moment don't care about. Yeah. Anyways, besides, like when you've just had your birthday and you're like almost 50, it kind of in that whole realm of like, do I really care anymore? So, but I'm thinking like, yeah, like I was like a preteen. So I would say that was a pretty, I don't know. It just like it was a really big thing in my life that, you know, I'd come home and watch, you know, like I had watched the original Star Trek and then it was moving into like this new cast. Yeah. And so I'm stuck on those people. I'm stuck on all the people that like I have known my entire life. And now you have, and it's the same thing with movies and big movie stars. In regular movies, like a lot of the people that I grew up watching in just multiple movies over and over again. And it was like, oh yeah, here's this person again. Oh yay, we get to see this person in a new movie. What are they doing this time? Yeah. Now it's always like a lot of people.
I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting your levels. My bad.
Would you like that on your side?
Yeah, but I didn't think of that till just now. I don't know if it's just, all right, sorry, keep going.
So I think it's really that, you know, like when you're in our age range and there is that factor when you hit a certain age range that you go to nostalgia. And right now, I think that's a really big thing in my life. And so when I go to watch something and it's like, all this stuff is completely different. There's no known faces. You know, like the storylines are completely like different. And there's all this stuff that maybe I don't know about. It's a lot of, I don't know. I end up feeling like I have no clue what's going on, you know, and it's like for something that I grew up with and I know like.
Well, it's not retreading the episodes of the original series. It's
I know that.
Different thing.
I know that. But it's just the fact that at my age, I am stuck in nostalgia. So when it's not that, your viewing and acceptance of what is the newer stuff is you're less prone to it, you know? And I'm sorry if you haven't hit that age range yet.
I'm close.
You've started saying, oh my God, I'm old. And
I've been saying that for a while.
But it's like your mentality changes. So like, you know, when we were little, we always used to make fun of grandma and grandpa or like our parents and we're like, oh my God, our parents are freaking old. And it's funny because I just saw a meme the other day where it was like the parents from like Parenthood or something, the movie, or like Father of the Bride or something. And they were like, here's the parents in, you know, as in their 40s. And they were like, were they just that much less cool? You know, did they just dress like stupid? Or, you know, like, I think that in our generation, and it's funny because I think embrace a younger mentality, than probably our grandparents and our parents have. So, you know, this is like I can't imagine there aren't a lot of women, I would say, in my age range that are wearing like Star Trek stuff, you know, for fun and for like in a typical everyday
You
situation.
don't know that. There could be. You act like you grew up in the 60s as a hippie. You're all of 23 months older than I am. Like, that's it. That's not.
I do kind of have a little bit of a hippie soul. I do have kind of an old age soul.
Yes, I can see that.
There is that portion of it too. So it's just
old age.
Old age is factoring in here, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it really and I thought about that whole scenario in the comments I was making, and I'm like, yeah, this kind of sounds stupid. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, I have entered the next phase of my life. Like I am. We're not in our 30s. We're not in our 20s. We're edging onto 50s. So
oh God, yeah.
We've almost been here half a century. So it's like, when we
oh my God, don't say it like that. Oh Jesus, a half century.
But that's the thing, that people will look at me and they won't know that. like I don't portray someone stereotypically that they would have in the past, like automatically been like, oh, that person's over 40. Oh, that person's over 50. Oh, they're in their, that person's in their 60s. And it's like, it's funny because, if I go places, like people will tell me all the time, if I say how old I am, which, you don't catch a lot of women really admitting to their age, but I don't have any problem with that. I can say that I'm 48.
Yeah.
And I don't feel, I feel older than that a lot of times, but that whole fact of like, I like the nostalgia feeling. I love the things that bring back the childhood memories. I love the things that I've known through my life that have been a staple factor, and Star Trek has been one of them. And so, I've seen like a bunch of the new movies and things like that, but I haven't seen everything. And some of that is, I don't want to just give in. I want to hold on to, like, if they can keep pulling back all the actors and finding, I don't care if they're, wrinkled and gray. And I know I made a comment one time because I hadn't seen somebody for a while, and there is definitely, if you haven't seen somebody for a couple years, like that, sometimes that aging factor can be like so starkly different that it's just like, oh my gosh, my mind was just blown. And that happened to me because I hadn't seen like Gates McFadden and Deanna and some of the other people in, like real life or in acting situations.
Talk about the Marina Sirtis.
Yeah.
Troy,
so
Gates McFadden.
Right. And
Dr. Crusher.
Yeah. So I think with women, you tend to see a starker difference because, either they're not coloring their hair anymore, or, there's a lot of the fashion things that change. They may change their clothing looks, or, but it was one of those things that I hadn't realized too in the storyline, how much time had passed. Uh-huh. So, it's like, even if that wasn't like truly their natural hair, if they start putting stuff in there, and it's really funny because we were just talking about Halloween and getting dressed up for that. And we were talking with my teenage son and, we were talking about possible costumes because he wasn't really, into this. And he's talking about, they were like, okay, you can dress up as so-and-so and spray paint your hair white. And we're like, I was like, we already did that when he was in elementary school. They had like the wax museum thing where they had to dress up as like this famous person. And he actually dressed up as George Washington Carver, the Peanut Man. And so we spray painted the hair, and it was so hilarious. We had such a good time with that. And I was like, and that's the thing, like, I'm still into embracing my youth as much as I can. And so, it's a little shocking though, when you see someone who's on TV and you have these actors, actresses who you've known in one portrayal for so long, and then they come on screen and you haven't seen them for a while and they look so different. And, and it was just that momentary startling. And I'm like, I love the fact if those were, natural graying hairs or whatever, that's fabulous that those women aren't letting people just come in and railroad them and say, no, I need to look young. I need to look whatever. Let them age.
The aging was part of it.
Let them have their storyline where they are older and they are in that next generation. And like we see Picard's son, he's a full grown man, and we're seeing him acting in that fatherly way, but he's not fathering a teenager. He's not fathering a young kid. And it's like, I love that. Let's celebrate that whole thing with, let's not be ageist and say, oh, they're too old to act and we can't write them a role because they're not young anymore. Write them all the roles they can and let them go and portray whatever they can till their end of their life, because we all love them, you know, and there is nothing. Yeah. So what? I mean, I don't care if they end up showing them with a walker or in a wheelchair or whatever. Those are all things.
That might be a bit much. Well, it's the 24th and 25th century. Why would anyone be using a walker? They have the technology.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Gotcha. I hear what you're saying.
Let them have roles. But that's the thing too. Temporarily, they could screenshot something that was like, oh, haha, back then when, before we had technology, here was what at this point I would have been stuck in this chair, but that's the thing. Like let people be seen. Let people be seen who are older. Let people who have disabilities be seen. Let people of all different varieties be shown and have roles. Because the fact is, you want to have a show about all these different races. Well, then don't just show your one youth version. Show everybody that you possibly can in your different roles in, So, I mean, it's that kind of thing. And that like, my career has been with people who, are across the entire spectrum of different people.
Right.
So, it's just, I feel like that's probably why I'm kind of a little stuck on not just buying into, let's make it this one mold. I want the mold to be expanded, so that's kind of where I'm coming from.
That reminds me of the story regarding the motion picture. When the cast was being brought back together for that, several of them had concern over that they had aged, that this was in real life, it was about 10 years after the 10 or 11 years after the original series had gone off the air. And the events of the motion picture take place about a year and a half at the end of their 5-year mission. So, excuse me. So what's happening is they're coming in older than what the characters are really supposed to be. And when we got to Star Trek II, there was a time jump. So there's a time jump of about good 10 years between the events of, the motion picture and Wrath of Khan. So that it then covered that distance of age. And they made that part of the movie. That was a part of it where Kirk feels like he's just old and out of touch, getting out of touch with everything. He's an admiral. He's not in space. He's not where he wants to be. He's got glasses now. He's got to wear glasses. And the movie has a lot about dealing with age and age and loss. So I totally get that, where there's a good way to incorporate that into the story. And I get what you're saying about Strange New Worlds. It feels like it doesn't have the nostalgia because really it's a new thing. It's not like season 3 of Picard where you go back and we've got the next generation again. It's now 30 years after. Strange New Worlds. I mean, most nostalgia you're going to get is just with seeing the updated ship and sets and whatnot. But that is no excuse to not have watched it. That's the takeaway here. Okay. Is you still need to watch all of Star Trek if you're going to claim to be a fan, which you say you are, but then you're going to cherry pick what you watch.
Well, I think I really do think if I hadn't been jumping from Picard to Strange New Worlds, if we were jumping from Picard to Picard, which I think we did at one point. There were
no concurrent seasons running this time around.
No, I know. But okay, well, then I missed out on the first season and I think I had to go back and watch some. So I was prepped for later on. But yeah, no, that jumping from one thing to another, assuming that there was some sort of link between them, that was my assumption.
Why? They were two different series. Just happened to.
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't prefaced properly. That's your fault.
How was it my fault? I didn't preface you properly by saying Strange New Worlds is like before the original series and Picard is after.
Because that's
this is not my fault. How did it turn into? No, this is ridiculous.
This is your
I'm turning
job.
off the microphone. Oh, what the fuck ever? That's exactly. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm 100% serious. That was your job.
You can't be serious.
You're supposed.
How was I supposed to preface this stuff for you to understand?
Because I'm one of those special people that needs
You are
preface.
Special. Yes, you are.
I need the preface before I go into it. And maybe if I'd been told like there was no like flow over from one to the next, I wouldn't have had these expectations to start out with.
What would you have needed to know for you to sit and watch the actual show and not do what you did?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think.
I mean, I think I just clarified that, but here again.
Oh my God! You see, this is what I have to deal with. This is what I'm dealing with. Is we're supposed to have this thing where we talk about Star Trek, and every time I ask her, "Honey, are you caught up on the most recent episode?" She's like, "The most recent episode of what?"
Well,
of Star Trek.
In my life, you know.
Which, see, no, you don't.
I do.
Your life is Star Trek. Star Trek is life.
Well.
But you have responsibility. I watch it all.
You know what? If you were to the age and the point of where I am, where
you're like a whole 23, like barely 2 years older than me.
But
we're not in different complete age categories.
Yes, we are. Because
No, we're not. We pay the same rate of taxes. We're about the same age.
Okay, but my short-term memory has already gone.
Your short-term memory?
My short-term memory has already gone to a significant portion where I need extra assistance in, like, what is it that we're doing and where are we going with this? And, you know, so I'm sorry, an outline would have been helpful, or just a recap kind of thing of like, hey, this is not related. Remember, this is totally different. This is before you already just said it yourself. And had you actually said that before I was supposed to watch it, then we would have been good, because I didn't see the original season. So going into a second season too, of not having seen all the episodes.
I specifically asked you to watch the first season. Did I not?
I don't think so.
Yes, I did.
I don't remember that.
Because we had the same conversation. You said, I didn't watch the first season. I said, okay, well, here it is. You can do that.
You can't tell me to watch an entire season like the day before I'm supposed to watch the other, like the new season either. So, yeah. There you go.
Was that asking too much?
There you go.
I'm sorry.
I mean, well, yeah, sometimes I just don't have time to binge watch, especially when I have a list of other things to binge watch.
No, there should not be a list of any other stuff to binge watch. See, here's the problem, folks.
I'm sorry.
Here is the problem with Nico. It's priorities. Lack of priorities.
I have my priorities. They're just different from yours.
They are wrong priorities. Incorrect.
Oh, my.
What is at the top of your list that's not Star Trek? There shouldn't be anything. The answer to that should be nothing.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's what I'm trying to find out. And so far, all the excuses about everything in your life is me. I don't know. How does everything become my fault?
Life, and I said you, and you just were kind of like at a loss for words.
You pointed all at me. This is great.
I said here.
It was kind of like our drive here today. I cannot focus when you're in a car. You make me nervous because you keep talking. And we could be.
You said I can talk as much as I want.
We could be like 1,000 yards away from a stop sign. He'd be like, stop. You gotta stop right there. It's like, we're not even close to it yet. And get in this lane. No, I know it's going to merge later. Well, no, but I don't like this lane. Like, what the? It doesn't matter.
You know how to get home, and then you're in the wrong lanes. I don't know how to help you with that.
It's because I'm under pressure. When you're in the car with me, I'm under pressure. I can't
figure out which lane to go.
I can't focus. You make me nervous. That's why I almost killed us twice today.
I know. That's.
It was a good day to die.
Next time, I'm just gonna drive.
No, folks. Her driving is not good at all.
I'm still here.
Here's an example: flying up behind someone at 40 miles an hour, and then putting the front of the car into the ground, braking so hard.
Do not.
Yes, you do.
You know what? You're going to get to ride with my dad from now on. And then you'll understand that my driving is just fine.
Now listen. With you, I've heard you say it. Anyone who drives faster than you is an asshole, and slower is an idiot.
Well, I can't help it with all of them.
When I'm driving in a car with you, I'm scared. I'm afraid for my life because of. And then you're bitching at me like.
So I know I've shared this story before with you when we
is it Star Trek related?
I mean, I wish I had warp speed on my car.
If there's anyone even left listening to this, which would be a miracle.
Shut up. They like me better than you. Okay. So anyways, let me tell you though.
Yeah.
So we're driving in the night, so you can't see anything through mountain roads. And I am driving myself with my children in the car. So yes, I admit my children were with me and driving in the dark through windy, windy roads. And I'm following my brother-in-law and my brother-in-law's sister and husband. Okay. So it was both men were driving, right?
Okay. All right. And
we were driving through, you couldn't see anything. Pitch black, windy roads. Of course, we have our lights on, but still, your depth of field and everything, where you can see is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We get there. Okay. So by the time we actually get there, I mean, it's hours and hours. It was probably a 13-hour drive or something like that. We get there and they were like, wow, we can't believe you kept up with us. You're a woman driver and we can't believe that you could drive like that. And I was like, what the hell? Who said that women can't drive? I mean, now here's the other side of the flip coin. Okay. So you have lived here your whole life. I have not. I have lived multiple places. So here, respectfully, y'all drive slow. Like little turtles.
Okay? Are you serious?
Yeah. And it's just, there's pretty much people are putting along, they're driving Miss Daisy.
That's not even true.
It is. So I used to live out in Arizona. Yeah. The speed limit in Arizona, base speed is 75 miles an hour. People drive 90 to 100 regularly.
Whoa.
Every time they get on the road. So I'm driving the 75. I'm driving the speed limit, maybe about 5 miles over. They are flying past me and switching lanes and all that. And, and I got flack for driving safely of what was posted. And so you have to understand, and I've driven in other places where it's I've driven in California, let's not even talk about that because that's just insanity. You couldn't drive there. I mean, just you just couldn't. You would literally get us smashed to pieces and
you think so?
People would hit us just because of your driving. So just be bam, and then they'd be on their way. So it just, you have to understand that there is a culture of driving everywhere you go. And your culture here doesn't match all the places that I've lived. And I tend to, I'm a safe driver. I am a defensive driver.
You're an offensive driver.
No, I'm defensive.
No, you are on the offense. You are trying to run people off the road.
No, I am not.
There is no defensive driving what you do.
Okay, well, you don't like my driving.
How's a defense to rear end someone?
I have never rear ended anyone.
Come close.
Never. No. Never. No. The people that we're talking about have cut us off, literally cut in and cut us off. They were unsafe driving.
Right.
So I had no choice but to slam on brakes in those instances. So that is not my fault because someone's cutting me off and I have to be defensive and slam on the brakes so that we don't hit them. So you should be thankful that there was still some room in between the front bumper of my car and the butt of their car. Because that was on them for being stupid and driving
I hope
stupid idiots. So.
I think it's a good thing that there's not a lot of cars being driven in the Star Trek world.
But think about that. Then you're flying all over and, what? There's no painted lines in the air.
I want to see you piloting a shuttle.
Oh, my gosh. I would love that. I would love that.
That would be horrible.
It'd be lovely.
You would forget where you were going. You just said your short-term memory is bad.
They have autopilot shit, too. So... we are talking about technology, right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
Well, are you going to do better about watching Star Trek or is this going to be a struggle?
I'm not sure.
Are you going to commit to BigJ's beef or is it going to be another struggle? Because really, I get you on here, people start to like you. And then what do? You stop showing up.
I don't know. I think that's the question. Is it better with me on here? Why
are we talking about that again?
Because I want to know. Because I want to know if is my time and effort worth putting into
Oh, well, excuse
making this the priority of me being in here and being heckled for my driving and all my faults. Of being the old lady.
I have seen indication that when you're on, there tends to be more watching and listening.
So finally we get the admission. It's all I needed.
Okay, great. See, now I admitted it. Now you're going to throw that in my face every time we have an argument. Well, your podcast is better when I'm on it.
Well, but we already knew that. But here's the thing, too. You
stole it.
You had to rope me in, right? Because you were like, oh, you need to be on here. You need to do this with me. And I was like, no, I don't think anybody's going to care.
Right.
And then what? Do we care? Like, that's the question. Do we care, audience? You know?
Okay, here's what I want. I think this would be fun if anyone would do it. But if this happens, you got to be more consistent. Email me your beef or stuff that you want me and Nico to talk about. Try to keep it Star Trek related if possible.
Yeah, don't talk about my bad driving.
BeyondTrekPodcast@gmail.com. If you want to talk about Nico's bad driving, that would be a plus. Give us your beef with Star Trek. That's BeyondTrekPodcast@gmail.com. I think that would be fun, like to have people's emails to read or things like that.
I think so too.
So I wouldn't have to spend the whole time trying to make up stuff. Which I can be good at sometimes, right?
I don't know. I actually haven't very much enjoyed our show.
You have or have not?
Have.
Oh, I thought you said you have not.
No, I have. No, my original resistance was proven to be unnecessary, basically, and it was something that I was feeling very much out of my zone of comfort. And, but I really do. I really enjoy doing this. And, it would just, for being in a profession where you never get any sort of accolades or achievements or recognitions, it just would be nice to hear that somebody does appreciate the fact that I'm doing something. And, obviously
there was a compliment you got one time on one of our videos.
Yeah, I think it was a real early one. Yeah. And that's really nice to hear. Yeah. And it's something, I think that there are less women probably that are in Star Trek, like production kind of everything. Yeah. We're out there. I'm sure that
you're out there, but as a whole, it's still a bunch of dudes.
Right. So it would be nice to know that, there's appreciation for the efforts and time and everything put in and that what I'm doing is, worthwhile and, so I can make it a priority. Sure.
Well, but I appreciate when you do it.
Yeah, because you want to talk about how my bad driving is.
No, we don't. No, I only talked about that a little bit about the bad driving.
I don't know. We're gonna have to work out rock, paper, scissors and figure out.
There's other stuff we can talk about, like you won't cook.
Oh no, let's not talk about that.
And
I'm not going to start cooking like I'm not going to be domesticated that way.
But
Sorry.
I'm a good cook.
Well, I mean, sometimes,
I do all right.
Yeah, and sometimes when I cook, we do okay too. So it's not a highlight of my thing. If it's not
making
desserts,
tacos is not cooking.
There was your last burrito dinner the other day. So you just signed your.
It's my death warrant.
Death warrant of burritos. I'm so sorry about that.
Well, but see,
but that's stuff. My thing is like, then I would be all into, let's cook all the sugar stuff. And then, yeah, that's not healthy. So I tried to stay away from that.
I know how to get you to watch more Star Trek when you're supposed to. I will.
You pay me.
Make food for you. No, I'm not going to pay you.
No, I mean, yeah, a little bit of cake and ice cream does go a little bit of.
I will offer you cake and ice cream if you'll do these recordings with me. Okay.
Yes.
Is that how it's going to be?
Yeah. I'm definitely food
Would you talk into the mic?
I'm talking into the mic.
Not that close. Oh, for crying out loud. You see what I have to deal with, people? You see, this is the kind of sass that you should be leaving at home.
I'm sorry.
Not bringing it here for my audience to have to listen to.
I had a little nap and...
Oh, yeah. Now you're all fired up.
No, I'm just like,
you're in the pocket now. Aren't you?
I know. That's why we did no makeup and we're having a little bit. It's been a day. It's been raining and it's been rough day for me.
I had to dig a tree, 2 trees out of the ground.
Yeah, we did yard work and now we're really feeling our age in our joints. I'm all messed last time. You're like, come on, let's do this. And I'm like, I just can't even move.
Let's do a recording.
I'm like, I just don't even have energy for that. So yeah, I had to go take my little nap first before.
How did you not have energy? You watched me do the digging.
Because I did all the pavers. I did the front yard while you weren't even there. I mean, I was
on the way.
I know, but for the 30-minute drive that you had, I did 30 minutes of hard labor. So, you know, like it was
hard labor.
It was lifting lots
like you're
of
in Orange is the New Black. Whatever.
No, seriously. No, my neighbor can attest to that. She sits in her kitchen and she can see out the front door of what I'm doing. So she can definitely back up my story. And she knows because we've been talking about it and it's been in stages, you know? So it's like, we're like, yeah, I think I want to do this. And yeah, now it's not even. So now I got to pull everything back up and try to even it out some more. And, you know, I did a little better job. It's not perfect, but it was good for the moment. So I decided not to like rope you into that again. Probably in the future, we're going to have to pull it all up one more time and fix it. But
so there's more yard work
there is for me. Well,
I'm going to be busy watching Star Trek. So there.
You know what?
What?
You have a phone, you have a tablet, you have whatever you can stick right up there in front of you where you're doing your hard labor. And
I can get one of those helmet things, like puts the phone right in front of my eyes so I can watch.
I mean, come on. We've got technology. What are you talking about? You can multitask. I hear you say that all the time. So let's put it to a test.
Oh, great.
You can do yard work. I'm sorry, those stupid little squirrels were planting trees all over the place.
Damn squirrels.
I know. If I could just make sure they couldn't get into the ground with those, that'd be fine.
Have you been watching this season of Star Trek Lower Decks?
I haven't been watching much of anything on TV.
Really?
I've been real.
Man, you're all kinds of behind.
I'm just all not functioning well. So that's like, I can't even, I mean, I've literally like sat down to watch a movie and I can't even sit through a movie. I mean, I've been breaking it up into like 3 to 4 parts.
Oh my God.
At least. And I'm
For
like,
real?
Yeah. And I'm counting and I'm like, I think this is my 3rd session on this same freaking movie.
I shouldn't say anything because there is a movie we watched. I didn't make it through.
5 parts.
I didn't make it through the opening credits.
The 5 minutes and you were flat out asleep and I wake you up and I'm like, okay, let's rewatch this 5 minutes. And you were out again right away. And I was like, forget it. He's just not going to watch this movie.
That was Zack Snyder's Justice League that took about a week to watch with you.
Oh my God. That was horrible. I don't even.
It's a great movie.
But I can't tell you that I even like, there was no like connection for me, like from night to night. Like I had no idea what was going on. And my brain wasn't there. I don't think my interest level was there. You know, like when you were in school and you were little and your teacher's like, you're going to read the story and you look at the pictures and you were like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to read that. Yes. That's kind of how like my brain, I think, just wasn't tuned into that because it wasn't Star Trek and it wasn't sci-fi and it wasn't horror. So I think in that week, in that realm, that's where I was. And you were like over here in this whole other kind of fantasy section. And
I live in a fantasy world.
I do too. But
Justice League isn't fantasy. It's action and adventure.
Well, but there's some fantasy-ish too.
Like what?
I don't know. Don't make me. Something. I don't know. I remember that 5-parter. I don't really remember much out of that 5-parter movie. So I can't provide you with any real information on that.
All right. So you can't be making claims you can't back up.
Well, I can. I just cannot back them up. So
it's these, lobbying these false accusations.
They're not false. They're there. They just don't have the proof because my section of that brain is shut down right now. So sorry.
All right. Well, since we've gotten so far off the rails and there is cake and ice cream waiting for us, which is her idea. That's her idea. We're trying not to do junk food. And the first thing she brings up every time I talk to her is, let's get some cake and ice cream. And
I think that was a bait this time. I think that was like, hey, I think I'll get you a treat today. I remember you saying that too. So today it is all on you. I mean, normally 99% of the time it would be me. But I had been doing really well. Now I told you, like it's been a struggle. Folks.
I told her I was going to get her a treat.
Yeah, we worked really hard on the yard, so I deserve a treat. I need something for my sore muscles and everything, you know. So, yeah.
And a condition of that treat was you had to do a recording with me. So thank you.
Did, yes.
That's very nice of you. Please email us, beyondtrekpodcast@gmail.com. Love to hear from you, even if it's just to give Nico a compliment so that she'll keep doing BigJ's Beef with me.
Or you can always slam Big J and give him a gripe.
Or you can slam Big J, or you can give me something to gripe about with Nico. Yeah.
No, I meant a gripe about you because, you know,
a gripe about me?
Yeah, because I can live off of that for a while too.
Yeah, you could. You could. One little thing about me and you would be on like cloud 9 for
We're going to be talking
hour.
about that for a while.
Yes. Yeah, she would love it. Find a gripe about me and she will just tear it apart. You'd be in the pocket then, wouldn't you?
I would. I'd be like, yeah, I got supporters that support me with this. You'd be in so much trouble.
What have you turned this into? What have you?
Well, it's labeled as Big J's Beef, so aren't we having a beef with Big J? I mean,
that's not what that means.
I'm sorry. That could be the interpretation of some of our crowd. So I'm all throwing it out there. You know, since we were off on tangents, that could be a tangent too. So
you're looking at me like I created the tangents. Excuse me?
You might have.
I beg your pardon.
You said we don't always have to talk about Star Trek.
Oh, I did.
You did say that. I think it was in this episode.
It was in this episode. It was. You know, that is my fault.
It is your fault. See. Gotcha.
There. I'm gonna beat you with a pillowcase full of doorknobs.
Oh, that was good. That was great.
Okay, I love
when I can throw it back on you, and it works.
I've had enough abuse for one night.
All right.
That's the recording. It's Nico's beef. It's supposed to be Big J's beef.
Yeah, it just doesn't roll off the tongue the right way.
It doesn't.
So
no, it doesn't. All right, let's go have some of that cake and ice cream.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Where's the beef?
We are Beyond Trek Podcast. Lower your inhibitions and surrender your ears. We will add inspirational and hilarious Trek content to your day. Your attention will adapt to subscribe to us. Resistance is futile.